No alien wanted to hire this single mother, but the human gave her a chance. Xania had been rejected 43 times. She was a Vrel, an alien species known for their precision, intelligence, and coldly rational business practices. But on the neutral station, a massive space hub where humans, aliens, and hybrid species work together, being Vrel meant being seen as overly ambitious, emotionally detached, and fundamentally unreliable if personal responsibilities interfere with work. As a single mother with 2 young children, Xania was the epitome of that unreliability. Every interview followed the same pattern. Employers would review her qualifications, impeccable credentials, years of experience in logistics and resource management, then ask about child care. When she mentioned her children, she watched their expressions shift. Questions became skeptical. Offers evaporated. The Vrel don't reproduce often, one interviewer had said bluntly. When they do, they typically use state facilities. A mother personally raising her own children? That's unprofessional. Xania had stopped correcting them. She had stopped explaining that she had chosen to raise her children herself, that she valued that choice, that it didn't diminish her professional capabilities. The universe had made its judgment clear. Mothers were liabilities. Her savings were depleting. Her apartment lease would soon expire. She was 3 weeks away from having to send her children to the adoption centers, a thought that made her exoskeleton ache with despair. Then she saw the listing for Venture Labs. The position was perfect for her skills, but it was posted by a human named David Okafor, and humans rarely hire Vrel. There was too much cultural friction, but desperation is a powerful motivator. She applied anyway. The interview was scheduled for a Tuesday morning. Xania arrived early, her professional exterior perfectly maintained despite the anxiety coursing through her. David's office was warm, decorated with plants and photographs, the desk organized, but not sterile. He stood to greet her, and his smile was genuinely welcoming. "Xania, thank you for coming," he said. "Your resume is extraordinary." She waited for the inevitable questions about her children. They never came. Instead, David asked about her work philosophy, her problem-solving approach, her vision for the future. He treated her like a professional, not a liability. Then, near the end of the interview, he asked directly, "I see here you requested flexible scheduling. Can you tell me about that?" Xania's guard went up. This was where it always fell apart. "I have 2 children," she said carefully. "I require time for their care and education. I am still fully capable of meeting all professional obligations, but I require—" "Perfect," David interrupted. "That's actually why I'm building this team. I believe the old model of work, the idea that you have to sacrifice everything else to be good at your job, that model is broken. I'm looking for people who have full lives, who have commitments outside work. People like that tend to be more creative, more balanced, more genuinely invested in building something meaningful." Xania's sensory organs flickered with confusion. "Oh, don't see my children as a problem. I see your children as a context that makes you real," David said. "You're not just working for a paycheck. You're working to provide for them, to give them a good life. That's motivation that goes beyond quarterly reports. That matters to me." She got the job. Over the following months, Xania discovered that David meant what he said. The workplace accommodated her needs without judgment. When her daughter was ill, she worked from home. When her son had a school event, David rearranged meetings without comment. More importantly, he treated her as a valued member of the team, not a token inclusion. Her work flourished. Without the constant anxiety about employment, her creativity returned. She developed systems that increased efficiency by 30%. She mentored younger employees. She became indispensable. One day, another Vrel applied for a position, another single mother, desperate and afraid. David hired her without hesitation. Then another. Then a hybrid species member with disabled parents. Then a human father working to support his family alone. Venture Labs became known not as the place with the best talent in the sector, but as the place where talent was actually allowed to be human, where being a full person with responsibilities and relationships and love in your life wasn't a liability. It was an asset. At the company's first anniversary celebration, Xania stood with her children, who played safely in the designated family area while employees worked nearby. David approached her, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Thank you for taking a chance on me," Xania said. even when no one else would. "Thank you for teaching me," David replied, "that the best work comes from people who have something worth working for. You didn't just change your life, Xania. You changed how we think about what it means to build something great." Xania looked at her children, then at the diverse, thriving team around them. For the first time in years, she allowed herself to believe that a mother's ambitions and a mother's love weren't opposing forces. They were the same force, just expressed in different ways.